friends? Happy Wednesday. It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite GigaBrain astronaut scholars in the same room and we have a dope conversation. We're kicking out high frequency vibes on this Wednesday. I hope everybody is getting over the hump just fine. I want to go through a little bit of the news that I saw on my timeline. Go ahead and share my screen with you guys as we kind of cover some of these topics that we have going on. Let's see what we got here. Big shout out to the Smoke STX crew. They have launched their NFT collection. The Smoke Ethereals are the Ethereals collection is live on Gamma. Mint and join us on this epic lore-driven story. Arkham Intelligence is calling that BlackRock has stopped selling BTC. There have been zero outflows from BlackRock's IBIT addresses today. BlackRock holds over 50 billion of Bitcoin. Just in, Robinhood has officially listed Arbitrum, expanding its crypto offerings, as well as another crypto trader just paid over $129,000 in fees to transfer 285 wrapped ETH. I don't understand why people still use ETH whenever they could be interacting on Bitcoin via stacks and paying a drastic, a very small fraction of the fees, and interacting directly on Bitcoin. Coinbase is reportedly exploring the launch of a tokenized version of its coin stock, signaling a potential move into on-chain stock trading. Very interesting. Belarus president Lukashenko calls to begin mining cryptocurrency. Wonder how many more of these different countries and
Hey guys, I'm not sure. I think Kev might be having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, probably internet dropped or something. That was a hard stop.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It definitely was like abrupt. I'm like, wait a minute, he stopped talking. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm really I know. The world it's a funny place, right? I think he's back. There he is. The world is a funny place. Oh, he's gone again.
Technical difficulties.
There's a lot of things that we could dwell on that aren't so great. But there's a lot of things going on right now that are pretty great. We are building out Rails. Trip and I were talking earlier about the early days of the internet. I'm not a techie guy. I don't do I don't do coding or any of that stuff. But my first computer was a 386 SX. Only had 15 megabytes of RAM. I didn't put Windows on it because I didn't need it because all the games I played, I only wanted it to be able to play games anyway. They were all off disk, but I did open up the computer and put a modem in and learn how to connect it to bulletin board systems before there was really an internet built out. So I watched the internet build out, and the social aspect and the access to information was what appealed to me. And at the time, it was very open and free because there wasn't any way to control or contain it. And what's being built out now is a response to the centralization and control of what was supposed to be this open, free next step of humanity to get out from underneath everything. And we're building that. We're here now. We're part of the ecosystem, the broader ecosystem that is starting to build out these tools. So we're not in a bad spot.
No, when you hear the term Web3, that's exactly what that means. What you just described. I'd like to grab, some marketers and strangle them when they use Web3 as a slogan, but that's exactly what you're describing. And no, we're in a great place. I posted this on X earlier. My old boss texted me, and he's like, "Hey, I got a buddy wants to learn about crypto." Gave me his number. I shot the guy a text, and I'm in the middle of the BitFlow call, the BitFlow space, and like this dude's blowing up my phone. I'm like, "Hold on, man, I'll talk to you. Just give me a minute." And yeah, he's trying to front run Friday's news. So he's like, "I have to learn about." And this is an older guy. He's older than us. Okay, he's a broker. He doesn't know anything about crypto, and all of a sudden he's giga interested in crypto. So we're really at this point now. You hear old hats talk about this maybe being like the last big cycle, and I think that there's potentially some truth there. We could already say the cycle doesn't look the same just from TradFi coming on board and with the Bitcoin ETFs. So then you extrapolate that into what actual mainstream adoption is going to do to the cycle and to the space. Could very well be the last of what we consider to be the traditional crypto cycle. And so, like we're on the verge of some massive, massive change.
Yeah,
there's the law of diminishing returns. So you're not going to see a 20x on Bitcoin again. But you're going to, I think you're still going to have these bull and bear cycles because of the supply mechanism built into Bitcoin. It's just not going to be it's going to become more stable and less volatile.
Right. Yep. And as long as we have decentralized permissionless environments, we'll still be able to do crypto the old way, right? You'll still be leading crypto. We'll still be Annans on their laptops just banging out code. I truly believe that the innovation is still going to come from crypto natives for a while. But
can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I can now. We can't see you.
Dude, throw the whole computer away. Oh my god. Throw the whole computer away. It's crashing. My whole world's burning. Thanks guys for stepping in. I'm trying to get my camera to reconnect. And my computer has been a dick today. I'm not gonna front.
Well, I mean, it's charming talking to the disembodied voice of Giga Pepe, but we enjoy seeing your face.
Behind the gold microphone.
Oh yeah, I feel honored, man, to have to be able to rock the gold microphone for the moment. So bear with me while I deal with these technical difficulties, fellas. I appreciate you stepping in, and
I actually really dig how this is kind of new, and I never really noticed it before. But there's like the Restream actually has it where it kind of gives this this variant on a gradient variant on the behind the image. It used to just be the circle icon and then a black screen with a little bit of a
the background, the gradient background. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah, I noticed that like I think late last week. I didn't know if you had or if it was like something that Restream has added or what.
It just a new feature.
Fire. Yeah, dude. I'm thinking that I should be able to get so it's saying that my camera is unplugged, which is very untrue. It's very much plugged in right now. But I'm glad that you can hear me. That's That is,
Yeah, that's more important. What we have to say, and I speak mostly for myself, what I have to say is way more important than what I look like when I'm saying it. That's
Well,
Yeah, I take the easy route and just go behind the avatar and call it a day. It's like nothing ever needed.
There's something to be said for that. Although I am pretty proud that I've gotten a number of people to kind of come out and be, not that there's anything wrong with staying doxxed or saying undoxed, but I feel good about having gotten some people comfortable coming out onto the stage, like GPSD, like Melanie and Staxy coming out, and some of these people were hesitant to come on because they were uncomfortable with doing a live stream and kind of working a little bit without a net, so to speak. But there's also there is a little bit of there's a risk. It's a little bit risky putting your face out there for all to see. You become a little bit more of a potential.
Yeah, exactly. Target as builders shouldn't probably. I wouldn't recommend people that have control over keys doing it.
Yeah.
No. If someone wants to practice, they can come try. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, dude. I feel like DeOrganized has become the spot to like dox yourself. Get your face out there, put your face to a name. I did it. Kitty did it. There's a few others too. So if anybody's interested in having a doxing party, I guess maybe that's something
Or
that we
even come on and join the show. It doesn't have to be one big event. It could be a trickle of people just coming on, and you don't have to dox to come on. By the way, you can. You can just come on as an avatar and chat with us. We are not a gate-kept community. We welcome people. So if you are interested in coming on and chatting with us, don't be shy.
And that's the way to do it. Gatekeeping is retarded, especially.
It really is.
Well, it's a fear response. You call it a scarcity mentality, where you're worried about what you might not be able to have, rather than trusting that. I mean, we do live in a very. We could absolutely. There's no reason why in our modern day and age with our technology that anyone on Earth should go hungry or without the bare necessities. But we're not allowed to actually reach the point where that's easy to distribute without it's gotten
coordinating is the actual difficulty there. It's the distribution of money is actually kind of the easy part. It's the coordination of understanding that people being able to communicate with our proper people in an efficient manner to be able to provide product or service.
It's actually because there are
economies of scale basically issue.
It's the issue is that there's an establishment that wants to maintain power by being able to rule over these industries.
And that's the thing.
That's definitely a factor.
That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to get rid of middlemen. Essentially, we're trying to get rid of oligarchs. That's the fundamental baseline reason why this all exists in the first place.
Shout out, by the way, to some of our viewers, Bowl You Pick, Sparky Mark, and Manny Mo. What's up, brothers?
Yeah, that's
all right, Jack. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. That's why we're here. Look, financial sovereignty is as much of a human right as freedom of speech is. And just because where you live might not agree with that doesn't change the reality of it. So we make our own reality, and until it becomes everyone's reality. That's the goal. Not number go up.
Bingo.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, dude. I second that to the fullest. Touching on that topic, I wanted to talk a little bit about like you onboarded somebody into the Stacks ecosystem, Jack. That's awesome. I got a similar phone call last week of a buddy that was interested, asking me about Bitcoin, and I Stacks pilled him, man. How does that feel whenever you get somebody that doesn't know anything about Stacks and get them involved? How does that feel?
This was really cool because the demographics involved. This was like an older guy, and he's just like trying to front run financial news. He's trying to front run what's coming out of DC Friday. And so you take a 20-minute conversation and turn it into, hey man, I'll teach you what I know, just because you need to learn if you're interested in this, so you don't lose your shorts, for one. But the other part is like getting right back to what we're talking about. Like people, even people in this space and have been in this space for a considerable amount of time, there's a large percentage of them that don't know anything. They know number go up, they know hype. That's it. They want to get rich. And so being able to help someone and expedite that big learning curve that this still represents for people is massive. And it speaks to the need of like why builders especially need to have their finger on the pulse. One of the most bullish things I've seen come out this ecosystem in a minute happened a couple nights ago. Push Chain, which is a protocol that has moved to Stacks recently, they were looking to hire a community manager of some sort, or someone to handle CMO, basically, that helps with like content creation. So they go along this is kind of what we're looking for, and then they have like the list of, we'd prefer 3 years in the crypto space. We prefer people who like to be on X and are like up to the minute and all this. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, whoever is in charge of Push Chain is not some Web 2 asshole who doesn't know his own ass from a hole in the ground. He's like, this is someone who recognizes the reality. This is the same message that I've been preaching for years now. And that's what builders have to understand. Builders have to understand, you've got a customer that probably doesn't know what's up. You have to know how to get your message out to this person, and you have to know how to make your message understandable while also appealing to people who have already been here and might know something or two to why, for instance, why building on Bitcoin is a good idea. So feels super good to onboard somebody. Look forward to like, because like the guy's like, hey man, I'm watching some YouTube. I got this meme coin. I got that. Like, hold up. You have any Bitcoin? Because I know you're looking at the price and thinking Bitcoin's expensive, but not really. You just think it's expensive. Just wait, So how do you want to structure your investments, right? Maybe you do want to play with meme coins. Well, okay, but that should be a very small percentage of your overall portfolio, especially when you can do something like have Stacks, that is a US based company and will be the recipient of US based incentives. And oh, by the way, it also yields Bitcoin and you don't have to do anything about it. And it's the safest way to get any kind of Bitcoin yield that I know of. So, or did you know about stable coins? Did you know you get a stable coin that's based on Bitcoin? So like taking people through like Coinbase to then what the self-custody look like to how you can earn passive income, like all of these things, this all needs to get out there, and it will, but we have to meet people where they're at. And you can't assume that just because you just coded up some whiz bang thing that you're in love with, that this matters to anyone else who's looking at some cartoon avatar putting up fake P&Ls, for some bullshit that doesn't do anything. Like,
that's so true. That's so true. You got to meet them where they're at. You're like, right. I can attest to that personally, like massively. Like I've been out there in the woods, so to speak, building my fucking, my castle for, products, here and there over the years. And if you don't take the feedback with absolute, like, God's word, then you're gonna lose them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta 100% meet them where they're at, and then also continue to listen to the feedback, drive your innovation, onboard users. There's a business model to be had here for tons of things. So, like, people just need to put their fucking thinking cap on and have at it.
You got to meet them where they're at and then draw them into where you can actually kind of get more of their attention too. Like, because you're only where they're at, you're only getting like 15 seconds, and that's it.
True.
Yeah, that's I think that gaming applications have some room in this competition. So they are not competition. This conversation. I think that gaming is such a huge concept that it's a attention grabber, right? And then you can constantly, like, if you have different things that you can earn while you're gaming, and make it, like, monetize it, make it play to earn, is a great way to get people's attention and keep them there. I think that with what Rosar is building with Blaze and instantaneous transactions, gaming is just right there. And big shout out to Trippin' Monkey too. Trippin' Monkey's working on this for.
Have you guys seen Ronald's Bolt product? Something called Bolt Wallet, and I just saw it today. He had posted it in the tester group, I think, one of the DM groups I'm in, and I'm not sure if it's I'm gonna have him on the show next week to kind of talk to us about it. But I was playing around with it in my like 3 minutes of spare time earlier today, and basically it bridges to the Bolt chain, or it bridges it to the Bolt wallet, which is the same as your Stacks wallet. So there's a bridge, but when you transact Bolt to Bolt, it's like instantaneous, and the transaction fee is only like 10 Satoshis. So you can send SBTC near instantly on Bolt for super cheap transaction wise. So you can send 1,000 Satoshis and it's only costing you 1% still.
Right.
Yep. From my understanding,
that's cool.
That's very similar to Blaze's or Rose.
Yeah, it seems very similar. It's something that he's just talking about. So I mean, I don't know if it seems very similar to the subnet type of thing, but there's going to be options in the marketplace is actually what makes things. It spurs different innovations, and better iterations.
What I would like to see for Stacks, there's two like fundamental components that we really need to tackle. One of them is more stablecoin liquidity. We need that, like, as a function. Like I was telling the BitFlow guys earlier today, if you remove stablecoin liquidity from Ethereum, you remove half their market cap. Like, that's how much stablecoin liquidity is on Ethereum. They are no longer number 2 if you take that off. We need that. We need that, whether that's Circle, Tether, what have you, because once you get that liquidity here, people are going to be like, oh, I can get a Bitcoin backed stable USDH and get yield for that. They're going to go to our native stuff anyway. We just need and then that brings us to on ramps. We need our wallets to be able to function. Like, I was talking to Landy about this the other day, like Magic Eden wallet, or like I like to use OKX wallet, where anything I want to do off of Stacks or Bitcoin, I use my OKX wallet because I can bridge straight from it, not even think twice about it. I can take assets and much like you can on Stacks, if I want to trade, if I want to trade through
OKX wallet. The only thing I ever used OKX for was finding node rocks people had listed too cheap early on when it was like it had been dumped. that's the only time I've ever used OKX. But I've heard you mention their wallet a few times. You find it functions with a lot of it's very multi-chain, right?
Correct.
Like the Magic Eden wallet, kind of, I guess.
I want to see that for Leather and Xverse, right? So I want to see good stablecoin liquidity, easily funneled into the ecosystem, and wallet functionality that allows people to do just anything that they can do on Magic Eden or OKX. That's what we need, and we need that yesterday. When you see so much SPTC, with Bitcoin coming into the system in under 24 hours, that leads me to believe that the business development aspects of the upper echelons of the Stacks ecosystem probably have a good plan for getting stablecoin liquidity here. But we need it. We need it desperately. And then when you start getting to the social aspect, yes, 100%. That's where one of the places you meet your customers, because, dude, we can, streaming to the new generation and watching people play games is like us watching people play, NFL games, right? Like,
right.
It's just that's not going anywhere. So we have so many different things we can do with that.
I think it's about communities, right? And then how those communities overlap and interoperate, right? And how they can, essentially cross-pollinate each other's products. And because really, at the end of the day, communities should be focused on providing value, right? And that's typically in the form of some sort of product. Obviously there's services and goods and whatnot, but I see a lot of people thinking that NFTs are dead or whatever, and the notion on that, just because they've seen a massive run up, in the past, they think that's just not going to happen again. They don't know much about crypto, and on that topic, communities can be formed around other things other than just NFT collections and fungible tokens. You can also form communities around namespaces. So,
right.
Like, you can form communities around personalities that just enjoy each other's company.
Well, exactly. So, but I'm talking about things that are more easily identifiable at a glance for just finding fellow community members. Because that's really how you can detect whether or not the community is growing, right? And so with that, I think namespaces are honestly a huge untapped gem in the space, because people can create their own namespaces actually super easy now and configure them to be, for example, it could be .DeOrganized Media. And
so it's not that, because it's long. What is that?
I'm just trying to give an example, like .btc, how that it works. People could create their own namespace, right? And they can configure those namespaces to have different options, which can be centric or centered around the community's interests. And for example, the length of the registration, where the fees are going, how those fees are spent, that type of integration can happen. And so I think, and it also creates that at a glance discovery capability. Oh, hey, there's a guy that's got our names, the namespace I carry now. Okay, he's a homie. What's up? You can easily shout him out. You can recognize him at a glance. And so that's what we do with .btc. So the sub community culture is how the larger culture and community grows. Those individual sub pockets that are looking to provide their own niche value, they need to be more easily identifiable at a glance, and also, kind of integrated and cross-pollinated within the larger ecosystem. So, namespaces are a perfect way to do that. So I think people should really look into namespaces more. We obviously have a ton of them already. There's even emoji namespaces. We got .rocket, the .rocket emoji. People probably don't even realize that.
Where do you register? I thought you could register those on BNS.1 and or
it's BNSV2.com. If you go to there, you can actually. yeah, bnsv2.com. You can actually sign in there, and you can go to the namespace wizard and kind of walk through the process of creating one.
What
Can
do some of
manage
these
one.
emoji namespaces like? How much is it to register on? I want to register a fire emoji, something.
It
Well,
depends
fire
on.
emoji's already, I think, been registered.
It's only one character. It's very expensive, from my understanding.
Yeah, I'm
Crypto
pretty sure
Dude will remember this, but
What's that?
back in the day, Ryder led an initiative for some namespaces. They had like you get like a dot.
Those are subdomain namespaces.
Yeah, so yeah,
And those are
that was
free.
pretty cool.
That was a cool thing. That's also another thing that you can do with namespaces. You know, you can create subdomain names, and basically those can be registered for free, and they can be given out for free, and they can even last forever. So, and they're fully transportable, unlike typical, subdomains where the top level domain still kind of controls the record. Like they're actually transferable. So, I mean, there's a lot of technology that people don't even realize exists over here in Stacks, because it's like everybody has been hammering for years and just freaking heads down building like madmen.
Facts,
So-
dude. I feel like all of the devs in the ecosystem like have something to ship, and they already have something that they've built. So that's one thing that has kept me bullish in the bearish sentiment is that I'm on the ground level with all of these community builders and devs, and they are absolutely crushing it over here in Stacks. So much is being built, so many different ways to earn. Speaking of namespaces. Gotta plug BoostX, man. Gotta plug BoostX with the SocialFi capabilities. You're able to interact with Stacks blockchain directly from X. You can't beat that. That's taking the blockchain and hiding the wires, and then like putting it right where everybody is already interacting. So big shout out to what you're building, dude.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, but just to clarify, BoostX is a Chrome extension. It's not a namespace. I did look actually at how much the namespace for .boostx would be. It's 6,400 SDX to register to create that. So not the cheapest point, but it's not completely out of reach either.
Single character namespaces are 640,000 stacks.
Yeah, imagine
No
if we
one's
had
going to
.x,
register
though.
them.
Imagine if we had .x, and then we could have it on X, and then we could be like, "What? You don't have your .x, man? What are you doing?"
Yeah, that is actually but 640,000 stacks is
I know that,
cost
maybe the
prohibitive
foundation
for
wants
me.
to throw. Maybe the foundation wants to throw at it and create the .x namespace to onboard X users.
Right. Well,
Like,
just
we could just say like, "You don't have a .x name? Like, what are you doing? Like, haven't you heard?"
Was it is it 6,000 STX?
No,
6,000.
640,000.
Oh golly,
Like over
600.
half a million.
for just one character. For 2 characters, it's 64,000, and for 3 characters, it's 64,000.
And that's to
Yeah.
register these
Or-
names.
That's to create the namespace itself,
Okay.
and then people can register names on that namespace for whatever configuration you define as the creator
Right.
of that
So
namespace.
if you did a .x, you could make it 1,000 stacks to register any name .x or whatever. Like you can
Yeah,
make,
or you could make it one STX and make it last forever. Like it's totally.
right. You could do right. You could. The parameters are variable if you own the namespace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is actually something that should be discussed at some. I mean, 6. That's obviously a lot of stacks. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that's a huge potential marketing vector, because we could just everybody would be like, "You don't have a .x name?"
Before BNSV2 launched, we did a like a panel discussion, and we Setsu Sepato were on, and Larry Celebra, and Marvin Jansen, and Dan Trevino. They were on all talking about what was going on with it, and the subject of namespaces came up, and the price for those is actually cost prohibitive on purpose, I guess, partly because they don't want them to just get bought up and not used.
Exactly.
So That's why. But it's, I mean, they're so expensive that they won't get bought up and used.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it depends on the investors, but
send me, like, if you get the fire emoji one, just send me one with like 4 fire emojis. Like, I don't want to tax you too hard.
I think 4 or 5 are. Let me see here. I think that one actually already exists.
You could actually get .ai right now for 64,000 stats. Speaking to you, Wine Twits in the crowd. What's up, brother?
I would advise people not to register ones that are already conflicting with Web 2 namespaces, because that's just gonna. I mean, it's a cool idea to have that overlap, but I mean, it's also going to confuse the the non-initiated. By the way, there's .fire, .firefire, and .firefirefire. So
Rails.
there's also .moon. There's like unicorn. There's .mushroom. There's .gorilla. There's like a shit ton of these.
Oh, unicorn. Blockface is going to be devastated.
His thing is unicorn launching, right?
Right.
.diamond emoji. That's fucking sick.
Yeah,
Diamond
know
emoji.
It looks like Zest has one. Fucking Jesus, Zest has one.
Zest.
Yeah.
Zest.
How much did that shit cost? 4 letters.
And where are you looking at this? This is at bns.1.
6,400.
bnsv2.com.
v2.com. Gotcha.
You have to sign in with your wallet, by the way, first, before you can kind of see the dashboard and the registration form and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to look at this.
Yeah, it's cool. Actually, they made a little bit of progress on this UI since last time I looked at it. They didn't have the namespace wizard finished last time, so that's pretty cool.
So is this like a whole separate entity than BNS, like .1, or like why?
No, BNS1 uses BNS version 2. It's just that's more of just a namespace registrar place, a name registering place. So if you go to BNS.1, you can see kind of what its purpose is. It's for registering names, and it's a marketplace for names, right? And now, obviously, they could make it to where you could create namespaces over here too. But I think the thinking here is have name registrations exist on both domains, and then have the namespaces exist on one, and then the marketplace exist on the other. I don't know who's in charge of these sites. I don't know if there's any communication or if they're competing for the attention, but it's most definitely cool to see.
Dude, yeah, so you're getting into these like emojis like .unicorn, .friends, .internet. They've got all sorts of namespaces created. .hearts, .rockets, triple rockets like you were saying here. .whale. That's a fire namespace right there too. Yeah, getting into these different emojis. Let's see what we try to get GPSC.whale. Maybe that's something. Wonder how much it costs to register. But yeah, definitely. If you don't have a .btc name, go set your .btc name up. Go to bns.1 and get your namespace set up. Get it in your handle, so you can start earning with BoostX. Solid.
100%, man. Yeah, .btc is such a cool identifier. Like when I see a .btc, I'm following you. That's in and of itself.
That's an easy follow.
Yeah, in and of itself, it's one of our strong suits here, and I mean it's the analogy's been made. It's like having a .com, right? It's like the Web3 equivalent of it, and I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, dude. I agree that like whenever I see a .btc name, it's an easy follow. It gives you that sense of community whenever you have it, immediately in your handle. It just makes sense. Whenever I got GPSC.btc, I felt like I scored a grail because it's a four letter name. So it's just one of those things. I don't know if it is a grail or if that's just in my head. Don't blow my dream up, but I see the more collectible ones being like the low digit numbers and all sorts of ways that you can collect with these namespaces. I ended up registering worldstage.btc. Don't know if that's I thought it was clever. I liked it. I've got that one, and then of course DeOrganized Games, just in case, wanted to get that registered as well. So I see all sorts of fire BNSs being created.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, I got to drop real quick. It's always fun.
Yeah, I gotta sign off too. I won't likely be here tomorrow night. I gotta go testify on some BS rent control and other nonsense housing related stuff.
Oh, what a fun, dude! Have fun. Yeah, don't. Yeah,
it sucks.
I'll see fun for the rest of
y'all tomorrow.
Good one, Jack. See.
I'd much rather be here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, just shooting the breeze with us and not having to do all the.
God, and our items are number 11 and 16 on the agenda, so I got to sit there. I won't be there till about 7. I know.
That's super rough, dude.
It sucks. It sucks. I got to put on a suit. I'm gonna wear my flag tie around my head, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, definitely do that. Go in there and just like full patriot mode. If you have like a red shirt and then like wear it around the head, fuck yeah, dude. I can see it, dude. I don't know what's worse, like having to sit in court or the DMV. Maybe that's a good op predict.
Oh no, it's way better. It's better than the DMV. Our DMV's got. I mean, when I was a kid, man, before things were like modernized, you'd be at the DMV for like 6 hours, no AC, it's 90 degrees inside and outside, brutal, and you don't even know. You can't leave. You don't know. You don't have a cell phone to entertain you. You kids don't know. DMV is easy now.
Oh, dude, I could only imagine.
Brutal.
Yeah, dude, not having nothing to do, just sitting there in line.
Oh, you got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old with you?
Oh, bro, thank God, dude.
We have such easy times now.
Yeah, dude. At least we have a phone, right?
We never have to
distractions everywhere.
That's part of the problem our kids have is that they never get a chance to be bored. They don't have the time to just kind of sit there with their thoughts and develop mentally because they always have something to go to occupy themselves. And I think they're missing out on some opportunities to discover themselves that way. Anyway, you guys have a blessed night. I'll catch up with you soon.
You, man.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate
Enjoy
you.
The rest of the show. And thank you to all you guys in the audience. What's up, guys? What's up? You all have a blessed night.
You too.
Have a good one, Steve. Yeah, dude. I think
there were two. No.
I'm gonna have to smash my computer, go get a new one, set up the whole. So, like, whenever I was trying to do the whole intro to the show, the computer just died on me. It was like, nope, you're not doing your intro. And then I had to go reinstall the drivers to my webcam. For some reason, something got messed up, so I had to get that all set up, and then I had to restart my computer. So it was a whole bum fumble all the way through and through, man. Yeah, it sucks, but we're
been there. Computers are always not the most reliable, right? When you're depending on them to be reliable, right? It's just literally how it works every time.
Yeah, dude. It was like a verse for me. I've never experienced that, dude. I was fuming. I was turning red, and I could see myself, just getting more and more frustrated. But yeah, dude, just work, computer. Just do your job, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, man, I think people really are starting to see the value in stacks because they're starting to see some of the utilities start to come into fruition, and I think it's just a matter of staying consistent now and getting the word out, keeping on that front, basically, to not let them forget, because there's a lot of competition in the space for attention on X in crypto Twitter, so to speak. So we just got to keep hammering on it. That's why I'm trying to come out of my shell here and be more public with my communication, so people can realize that there are builders hammering and doing things, and
Dude, you've been crushing it, dude. I mean, you haven't missed an episode since we started the nightly segment. So it's been really cool to kind of get to know you and let the community get to know what Crypto Dude is about, right? And this is part of it, just if you're building in this ecosystem, people want to know you too, not just what you're building. So I think that DeOrganized is a really good place for people to come talk about what they're doing and let people get to know them a little better. And you've been killing it, dude.
That's actually a massive understatement on how much people want to know the builders versus knowing what they're building, because lots of times what they're building is still in its infancy, right? And they don't really, it's hard for them to see the larger vision. So it's more about trusting their intuition on character assessment, so to speak.
Right.
And that you're never going to be able to assess the character if you guys aren't out talking. So there's a lot of truth in what you're saying there.
Yeah, I think that if we continue to cast a wide net, just kind of involve get all the different builders in the ecosystem involved, we could make a real change, because you could be the smartest dude in the world, be building the coolest thing since sliced bread. If people don't know who's building it, they might not use it. So that's one of the things that I think is special about the nightly segment, is that we just we shoot the breeze with everybody, and you can talk about what you're building or not. Just talk about what we're talking about and come shoot the breeze. So
it also ties heavily into the reputation aspects of Web3, because in a environment where the system is based on trustlessness, the human part of the equation is the weakest link, so to speak. And so there is trust that is kind of ultimately required to use some tools, when you're putting your private keys in a wallet, you're trusting the wallet developers not to just jack your keys, so there's a lot of human element in there still that's kind of unavoidable, because we're humans and we're in an economy, right? And so I think there's a lot of need for people to get out there, speak on the norm with people, stop trying to sell it so hard and just start chilling and kicking it and being real.
Yeah, just be yourself, be authentic, come as you are, and then I think people will dig that.
Absolutely.
If we can encourage founders to come out and talk a little bit more with the community with us, then we're providing a very important space, right? So
they can also look at it what do they have to lose?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What else do you have to lose? You're trying to build your customer base and your community. So get yourself out there.
Exactly.
It might be the thing that is hindering you from a major breakthrough, right? When people are able to connect with you and feel like there's some type of personal relation there, it makes them more comfortable with using what you've been building. And I think that's what Zero Authority is doing with the on-chain reputation score. Amazing fucking work, because then it doesn't really matter if you have a face to your name, right? You could be undoxed and prove exactly what your intentions are by how you interact on chain, so I really dig what Zero and the Zero Authority team are building over there.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I've been following that for quite some time, and also dabbling in my own reputation type mechanics on Derupt, obviously, and then I think BoostX actually has an opportunity to kind of help reinforce the notion of identity on X, because we can basically have BNS badges on profile pages to help identify the actual accurate Twitter accounts that are being ran by the BNS names
No,
that the actual users own.
Yeah, that resonates to me because I got my account suspended around December, and it was only because people were making duplicate accounts with the same BNS that I have. And if there's a way for me to kind of signify that this is my account, you can follow. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on this account. A way to differentiate between these spam accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a heavy problem on X.
For sure, especially the moment you become popular, there's always impersonators trying to basically debase and rug your fans or whatever, or your followers, and especially in the crypto space. I mean, it's horrible. So, if this slight little badge that we can add could make a huge difference to combat that, and it's coming. I've literally been working on it today. I kind of had to take a nap earlier today because I've been burning the candle at both ends, but but yeah,
that's fire. So you've for BoostX, you have already pushed out your first update after it's been approved in the Chrome store, to where that tokens.
Yeah, 12 more tokens. We got notifications. That's kind of in the wheelhouse coming your way. I can only push it in there, and then they got to approve it, right? But then we got the BNS badges that's coming on the next update. I didn't want to wait, so to speak, but basically, yeah. I'm hoping that the more updates I push, the faster the process for reviews gets, because maybe it takes a little higher priority or something. I don't know.
Right, like you're building like a repertoire, like when you're being there, and you've pushed out X amount of updates, so they kind of push you to the front of the line a little bit. So
yeah, exactly.
How that process goes. That's awesome to kind of see that happen live with you on the nightly segment. We were live whenever you first started talking about BoostX, and we're still live now. And now that you're shipping new updates to it, we're getting to kind of go through that process with you, which I feel like is kind of cool to see. Very, very cool to experience, for sure.
Yeah, I want people to know like what the process is like, so that way they can be demystified of it. Because I mean, people need to understand how these processes work, and kind of the annoyances that builders go through to get things in their hands. So that way, if they're going through their own build, or they're doing their own project and they're encountering their own roadblocks, they're not going to feel like they're just some knucklehead that doesn't know what they're doing. They can feel like, oh yeah, this is just part of the process. Like the way I look at it is like nobody's going to build anything right the first time, right? It's a process of staying on track with what your vision is, and then debugging your way there, basically. So,
yeah, dude, like getting to kind of show that process to them, show how much goes into getting this product to them, so make them appreciate it a little bit more, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. So that way they can go, okay, I see that this is how it works. There's a process that has to go into each one of these steps. They can, like, to me, it's about demystification, because I want users to not. I don't like the notion of how people say like crypto's too complex, that the retail can't handle it. We need custodial service providers and yada yada yada. We need to make it more dumbed down, so to speak. I don't like that. I want people to be brought up in terms of intelligence at the same time while they're using this technology, so that way they can understand the importance of it, and they can recognize when they're at risk by perfect example is post conditions existence on stacks versus not on other chains. So like that makes a huge difference for user security in terms of what they're signing their transactions for and the guarantees they have over those signed transactions. So small little details matter like that. And like it's hard to communicate those details unless you are exposing the process along the way.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't agree more. You know, and it's been awesome to kind of you know, get to know you myself. Just talking with you myself. We've gotten to know each other a little bit, and I think that is like something that I've enjoyed the most out of the nightly segment is getting to know these different founders in a more like, you know, one-on-one fashion, in a group environment as well, you know, and seeing how everybody interacts with each other. I like whenever we have a full panel and we're you know, the Giga Brains are all conversating on how to ship the next updates to their apps and like future ideas for different products as well. You know, just here within the last 2 weeks, you know, Rosar has shipped Op Predict, Blaze, you have shipped BoostX. You know, Zenotron is doing the Find Your Earn stuff, and we've had conversations with everybody in the same room. And I think that's awesome to see and just kind of partake in. You know,
Exactly. It goes to it's evidence and proof of, you know, not just work, but it's also proof of community. You know, so like people need to get out of their shell, take their ideas to the next level when they think they've refined them enough personally or whatever, and start, you know, expanding their team, expanding their online presence, and getting the word out. You know, I built BoostX specifically to support those ideas, to get other community members behind you. So, you know, my success depends on your success. So, you know, people have ideas. I hear them all the time. So just keep hammering, keep refining, ignore the short-term price action noise, you know, because basically the thing that makes the difference between, you know, actual short-term success and long-term success is utility and value, you know. So like we have the community in spades, you know, we got the underlying technology stack that no other chain has, not even by a long shot. Like we're in our own ballpark over here.
I agree, dude. Secured by Bitcoin, and you can earn Bitcoin by holding stacks and securing.
Yeah, and you can program onto that. That's not some like gated function that people can't access to. Like you can integrate that into your application that you're building for your fucking community. That's part of your functional stack, you know. So people's imaginations basically where the limit's at this point.
Facts, dude. And you know, I feel like the ground layer, the infrastructure for, you know, creators, like the people with the cool ideas is being laid, and now we have AI tooling and people are utilizing that to code in clarity.
Yeah, I was totally jealous of what Rosar was doing yesterday with he's got like fucking mission control over there with this. He's this guy AI just doing his dirty work over there. He's just like, report back to me when you're done or when you need me my input. They're like, yes, Lord Rosar.
You know, he's got his AI minions, and they're all coding. They have their own task. You know, you've got your one screen here that's spitting out code, and then you have another screen here, and then the one behind you is working as well. You take this.
Dude's living 10 years in the future right now.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know, I'm taking notes. I see the work that people are putting in right now, and it's going to change the game for stacks. Whether people see that or not right now. People are still, like, regardless of price action, still working on shipping products and updates to what they have already out there. It's so cool to see, and it feels like getting to run with all of these trailblazers is such an awesome, like, I'm super grateful to be here at the right time, you know, the right place at the right time, and being able.
It's not an accident. It's a byproduct of effort. Just like everybody should realize that nothing's just going to fall in your lap. The closest thing that's ever going to fall in your lap is good information that you can act upon. And so, you know, action is the key there.
Facts, dude. Facts. I want to extend a huge thank you to you for sure for coming through, always showing up and showing out the way that I like to see it. You know, you're getting yourself out there as a builder and dev in this space, and now people can kind of connect with you. And I'm truly grateful for you like coming and supporting the show, dude.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you're open to having me come on here and really testing out wearing out my welcome. But you know, if anybody wants to talk to me, send me a DM. I'm not like, you know, trying to ignore you if I don't respond quickly. I do have been getting a little bit of attention recently because of BoostX, and so it's kind of hard for me to get back to people promptly. But I most definitely will try my best to respond to everybody. So if you got a good idea on a feature you want to see integrated, let's hear it.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's give him some feedback on BoostX. You can download that in the Chrome store right now and go experiment with SocialFi on Stacks directly on X. Thanks, dude, for always for showing out and just being yourself, keeping it authentic and chipping away. Any final thoughts? Any closing, like anything that you want to add to the conversation before we sign out?
Same as always. Just build the change, be the change. You know, the people lead by example, basically.
Fuck yeah, dude! Build the change. Lead. Show examples. Proof of work, right?
Exactly.
Facts. Thanks, dude. Have a great night, man.
You too. Later, guys. Later, everybody.
This has been another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where Gigapepe almost destroys his computer and throws it out the window. I want to be very clear when I say I'm super grateful to be here with all of you guys, kicking out dope vibes, talking with the different GigaBrain astronaut scholars in the ecosystem, building products for us all to use and test out. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. And to my friends, I will say, this is the end. Have a good night.